Hello and welcome to today's chapter of the Shulchan Aruch, Siman Kuf Samech Vav, chapter 166, Shalon Lenachesh Leonen Ulchasef, Prohibition of Omens and Auspicious Times. Number 1. Kasiv, it is written, you must not practice superstition nor attribute significance to auspicious times. And that they've derived that from Leviticus 19:26. What constitutes superstition? He who says, since the bread fell from my mouth, or the cane fell from my hand, or my son called me from behind, a raven croaked at me, a deer crossed my path, a snake passed my right, a fox passed my left, therefore I will not go on this journey because I will not be successful. Similarly, those who on hearing the chirping of a bird say, may it mean this and not that. Now I know it is good to do this, or it is bad to do this. Similarly, when asked to repay a loan, he says, please leave me alone, for now it is morning, and I do not want to start the day by making a payment. Or it is close to the close of the Shabbos, or it is the new moon. Similarly, those who say, we must slaughter this rooster because he crowed in the evening, or this hen should be slaughtered because she crowed like a rooster. Everything similar to these things are forbidden. Anyone who practices any of these things violates a negative command. Some poskim say that if you do not state the reason why you ordered the slaughter of the hen or the rooster, but simply say slaughter this hen or this rooster, it's permissible to slaughter them, and such is the prevailing custom. Number 2, although no superstition may be practiced through a house, a child, and a woman, they may be regarded as omens. For example, if one built a house, or had a child born to him, or taken a wife, and afterwards he was successful on 3 occasions, or was unsuccessful, he may regard this as an omen for the future. Rashi the Ramah in 179:4. However, Rambam and the Smag maintain that you can only say these are signs, but you may not base any future plans and actions on them, and say this house brings me good luck, etc. It is also permitted to inquire of a child about a verse he studied that day and to rely on it to do a certain thing, where it is regarded somewhat like a prophecy. Some poskim from the Torah 179 say that it is permitted to designate a sign for the future and act accordingly. As Eliezer, the servant of Abraham, when he used a sign to determine who would be the right girl for Yitzchak to marry, or Jonathan, the son of Saul, while other poskim forbid it. That from the Rambam, the Smag, etc., Eliezer and Jonathan were permitted to rely on signs, for they were signs based on logic and reason, and that's from Yeram, Prisha, etc. However, one who walks in integrity and trusts in God, kindness surrounds him, and that's from Psalms 32:10. Number 3, what is meant by auspicious times? One who believes in astrology and thus says this day is good and this day is bad, or this day is a good day to do this work, or this year or month is bad for such and such a thing. Regarding our custom to hold marriages only on the days when the moon progresses to its fullness, is not considered superstition or auspicious, for this is done only as a favorable sign, as a coronation of kings which were held at springs to symbolize the permanency of his rule. Similarly, it is a good sign to make a wedding on a day when the moon progresses to its fullness. Nevertheless, it is not proper to postpone a wedding on this account, and needless to say, you should certainly not make the wedding when the bride is mentally unclean on account of this custom. It is also customary to begin to study on the new moon. The custom of not starting anything on a Monday or Wednesday is permissible according to some authorities, and that from the Zohar, Amy Mehema 273a, Shulchan Aruch Yodei 179:2, and the Zohar mentions not starting on Monday, and not ending on Wednesday. Number 4, a rabbi's blessed memory also said, what is meant, let's see the Hebrew, Me'onein. It refers to one who deceives the eyes, a magician. In other words, as it is as though he holds people's eyes and closes them, for he deceives them. It seems to them as though he is performing wonders, supernatural feats, while in reality he is doing nothing, but with a sleight of hand and cunning he deceives them. The entertainers who perform these things at weddings are violating a negative command. He who engages them is guilty of transgressing the negative command. Before the blind you shall not place a stumbling block. Leviticus 19:14. Therefore, whoever is able to prevent this is obligated to prevent it. And it is certainly forbidden to view these things, but if a non-Jew performs these things, it is permitted to view it. Number 5, it is forbidden to consult sorcerers unless there is a danger to human life. Loss of a limb is not a reason to permit this, and that's from the Shach 197, the Marshal. Or if someone fell ill due to witchcraft or some mishap or evil spirit, then he's permitted to be cured by a non-Jewish sorcerer. Thank you for listening, and all the best. Bye.